property. This is the literal act of buying real estate inside your mind. Kidding. Or am I? Intellectual property is pretty much the creative work that comes out of that little mind of yours. These works include copyrights, designs, and trademarks. And don't worry, it's not as boring as it sounds. What if I told you that this is a story of the ancient Greeks and Romans who protected their great investors over time? The protection was from others who tried to copy the inventor's creative ideas or intellectual property. Oh, I get it now. Wait, I'm not done. In Athens, inventors were given 1-year monopoly on whatever they invented so that no one could sell their invention without their possession or permission. When it came to Rome, authors were given exclusive right to direct works for some time, where their work became a part of public access later on. Over time, though, intellectual property and its laws have become far more complex than they were before. This is because of the innovations in technology that makes distribution of intellectual properties much easier. In fact, it's so important that there are now companies that mainly deal with intellectual property. Living in a democratic society where free expression is a thing, the USA had passed its laws in the first patent law in 1790, which was a spark that developed to today's laws in intellectual property protection. Let's look at an example. And I'm gonna say it now. Please do not copyright me, this is for educational purposes. Okay, so now that's out of the way, let's look at probably the most influential and recognizable brands on the face of Earth. So recognizable, in fact, that millions of customers dine here every year. That's right. I'm loving it. Just looking at McDonald's screams intellectual property. Its logo, slogan, jingle, they're also recognizable. Anyone from around the world could hear it coming. Literally. This is also cool, but what happens to those who break these intellectual property laws? Well, it's broken up into civil and criminal infringements. And for those of you who can't English correctly, infringement means breaking of the law. Civil infringement are court orders that are done to compensate the owner of the intellectual property for any losses suffered. So these losses can be defamation, which I'm sure we're all familiar with, and of course, financial losses. Then, criminal infringements penalties would be sanctions and even imprisonment. Well, make sure to be careful with every step you take in the intellectual property world, because you don't want to end up like little John here. I hope you learned something today. Bye.